Well, we'll see what happens. Don't see anything yet. Oh, there we go. Don't see anything yet. I'll put on live chat. Pop out the chat. Huh. I wonder if that'll go down for... Let's see. The Ozzy cam work? Oh, I gotta add it back in. Let's see here. Add... Video capture device. Add an existing. No, it's not the 22 though. It's 920. Add existing. Huh. Yeah, I'm just trying something here. Why isn't that camera on? It should be on. Alright, let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Now add video capture device. Create. Now create new. Let's try that. Okay, we're looking for the 920. Ah, there we go. All right. Got Ozzy in the background. Here be Rabbit. Hey, buddy. Ozzy. Okay, so the Ozzy cam is working. Let's move this to the top. There we go. Hey, you back in your old chair? You gonna sit down? You gonna sit down? You gonna sit down? No. Well, he is here. I'll just hang out for a little bit, Ozzy. Linda Apple, yeah, I'm back for a little bit. My wife's sleeping. I'm still awake. I refilled my coffee. So I just decided, why not? Oh, crap. I'm rolling up a few smokes. I'm going to put them in their little holder. Well, I hope everyone's doing all right. I am back for a little bit. We'll see what comes up. We'll see what's on anyone's mind. All right, well, we got, yeah. We got the Ozzonators in here. We got my kid's engine. I can't believe he pulled that thing out, but there it is. All right, let's see what... I never got me delivery. I don't want to have to give you a bad rating in the app. What a majestic creature. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day? You know, I always start the morning off with a couple cups. I drink this whole thing at work. This is probably 3 cups, 4 cups, if you went with the actual measurement. I don't know, I suppose, 6 to 8 cups a day, maybe, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 6 cups, maybe. I don't know. But I definitely do drink it. 7 people in the house. St. Pauline Dog. Not even supposed to drink coffee, but I do 6 days a week. I gotta have my coffee every day of the week. I'm not into tea, but I'm definitely into coffee. Let's see here. Get my little backtrack. Yeah, get a little background music going. 1.5 cups in the morning. Yep, Ozzy's in the house. He's roaming around back there. Ozzy, you want a treat? You want a treat, buddy? Oh, yeah, you are majestic. Here you go. Yeah, just for you. I got treats. Who doesn't love a beautiful husky on camera? Oh, such a good boy. Oh, I love you, buddy. You're so soft. That bath is still... Yeah, look at you. Coming to sit up there? You gonna come sit up there? Take your spot on the chair? Oh, such a sweetheart. Such a cutie. You gonna lay down or sit down? Can't quite get the camera quite where it's right on his face. There we go. He's the star of the show. Oh, crap. I almost dropped the camera. That was close. We got a thigh. We got an Ozzy thigh. Maybe I'll have to... No. Don't go over there. Yeah, leave the desk alone. Leave it alone. Such a good boy. You gonna lay down? Well, he is there. We'll see him throughout the stream make his appearance. I don't go a day without coffee. I legit get headaches if I don't drink coffee in the morning. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The caffeine headaches. Absolutely. If I remember correctly, that was supposed to be your kid's dog, but it's a family dog, but me and my wife do the majority of taking care of him. Yeah, that's kind of what happened, though, yeah. My kid wanted a dog. husky, which we found out's an aggressive breed. High energy. We've always had labs and stuff in the past. We hadn't had a dog for about 20 years. And yeah, he kind of became my dog mainly. But he's a family dog. I mean, it's not like my kid doesn't love him or anything. I love coffee. I love coffee. I love it. I love coffee. Yeah, playbacks looks good. I'll be curious what happens tonight. Last night, man, the OBS dropped 7 times. So I'm just warning you ahead of time. If the stream drops, just give it 30 seconds and hit refresh. I'll be back on. It'll come back on. Yeah, they take a lot of work, Jenny. But that's the dog. You know, we didn't do our research before we got him. But, I mean, I wouldn't take it back. I love him so much. So I wouldn't take it back. But I got a lot more than I bargained for. No, you got to stay out here for a few minutes, Oz. You got to stay out here for a little bit. He's like, no, let me back in the house. Gold and silver. Ozzy. Do I got to bribe you with treats? I'll have to bribe him with treats. Just stay for a little bit. Stay out here for a little bit. Come back up here. He heard the word treats. He's like thinking about it. Right, all right. I'll bribe you with treats. But you're going to get more little treats. Alright, you get more little treats. He's going to get more little treats. He loves these pepperonis. Alright, we're going to get him on cam, though. We're going to pimp him out as much as we can. Alright, alright. I said I'd give you some treats. There you go. There you go. Alright, little treats. Come on up here. Come on up. Ah, what a good boy. What a good boy. Yeah, such a good boy. Okay. Such a good boy. Look at those eyes. That's in the way, isn't it? Yeah, there's not much I can do about it. It's a beautiful snow dog. Yep, he's a beautiful snow dog. Oh, give me a kiss. Oh, such a good boy. Good job. Good job. Give me another kiss. Give me a kiss. Okay. All right. That's enough treats for a couple minutes. That's enough treats for a couple minutes. That's enough treats for a couple minutes. Okay. All right, go do whatever you want to go do. Go do whatever you want to go do. Don Moody in the house. They do better in pairs. Get another husky. I can't convince my wife to get 2 dogs. One is it for the moment. You know what's really weird? I hear like dogs barking lately, I swear. I don't know why. Just random. Like, I'd just be sitting there and I swear I just heard a dog bark. And he's not doing it. Maybe someday I'll convince my wife, but 1 husky dog is enough. I mean, once in a while, you know, a few times a month, my daughter will bring her dog over so they get to hang out. He's a Norwegian Elkhound. Some people have seen Mosey on streams. So, you know, we got 2 dogs in the house sometimes. Sometimes I dog sit for my daughter. I can't help it. He's so cool to look at. Yeah, they get along. They're alpha males. So once in a while they get in a spat over a bone or something like that, but generally they're friends. But he's like, man, get me out of here. He's like, get me out of here, bro. Why don't you just sit down, Oz? Just sit down for a little bit. Yeah, he wants to go back in the house. You want to go back in the house, Oz? Oh, all right. I'll let him back in the house. But I'll get him back here. I got treats, so. You want to go back in the house? He's like, yep. All right, I'll get you in a little bit. Oh, I got to do some cleaning up in the garage. Gonna have to do some cleaning up in the garage. I got my machines and kind of scattered all over the place. Another dog, I don't blame you, wife, on that. 2 huskies be overwhelming for indoor dogs. Yeah, well, oh, he'll probably chill out. He wants to eat probably too. But we have to be kind of cautious with Ozzy because he's aggressive towards strangers. So it's not like having a normal dog. He didn't get socialized right during the COVID. So he can't just run around. He can't just be in the house if a stranger comes over. I mean, we got to take precautions, make sure he's on the leash. And in extreme cases, I got a little mesh muzzle that I put on him, which he's cool with. So it's extra work, but it's worth it. I just love him to death. So you guys are all up at 2:13 in the morning. We're like insomniacs. Yeah, I don't normally do 2 streams in a row, but I was like, well, why not? No, he hasn't been around the grandbaby, and I don't know if... See, that's the thing. I don't know if he'll ever be around the grandbaby. I mean, if he were to bite her, I would have to get rid of him. I'd have to get rid of him, and I don't want... It's not worth it. So, like, when they come over to the house, I keep them in the garage, sometimes the kennel, sometimes outside. I kind of rotate them around. But we do have to take precautions, so I don't know if he'll ever be around my granddaughter. I don't know if I could trust him. I mean, that would be just, if he were to bite her, it could happen. They're not going to be like, it's no big deal, he just bit her. But you know how it goes with the grandkids anyway. It's not like they're over here that much. It's not like they're, living here or anything like that. If I ever get him around the grandbaby, he'll probably have a muzzle on, because I have a mesh muzzle that I kind of customized with a collar, and it works really good actually. It keeps him where he can't open his mouth, and he's usually pretty calm with that on. 313 in Michigan, land of Gretchen. Oh, every time Michigan used to be great, right? Used to be great. I can't believe how many places in the country have just become like shitholes now due to bad management from government leaders. I've only been to Michigan once, and it was only right on the Wisconsin side. And it's kind of warm in here. It's not really cold. I got a heated garage, so can't decide if I want the shirt on or not. I figure after this stream, I'll go check out some alternative news sources and see what's going on in the world. I thought about a segment on the live stream. It'd be like, is this real or propaganda? And we'll go look at news headlines or something. Now, wait a minute. How loud did that go? Oh, yeah, okay, it's still working. The western side of Michigan is still great. The east side is going towards Detroit is another story. Yeah, it's kind of sad watching the world burn. I actually wake up not depressed, but full of anxiety a lot. It's like a new wow every day. I don't know if you guys feel that way. I think everyone in the world knows something's off in the world. Like the rhythm of the world has been interrupted permanently. Yeah, it's the easiest way I can think of describing it. The rhythm of the world is off. I mean, I know we're supposed to trust God and all that, but it's hard sometimes. Lovely Lisa Warrior Queen. It's just one big wow. It's beyond wow. Every day is like, I never thought I'd see that. Never thought I'd see that. Never thought I'd see that. Never thought I mean, every day is like that. I swear. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. I actually don't know how to deal with it sometimes. And it's probably worse for someone like me because some people are just gonna, and this could be you out in the chat, and I'd encourage you to change your habits, but some people just watch the mainstream news. I can't imagine what it's like to, if your whole world, all the news you got was from CNN, it's literally like two parallel universes. Like two parallel universes. And if you were just watching mainstream media, you'd think the world's just doing fine. Everything's logical, everything's normal, no problem. But when you start watching alternative news sources and start getting to some of the truth, I mean, it's kind of depressing in a way. It's... And then I get frustrated with people because I'm like, I can't believe they're falling for that. I can't believe they believe that. I can't, So I'm kind of frustrated with people because come on, get with the program, get awake. But they're asleep. But anyway, I'm just simply saying that I don't feel relaxed the way I used to about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Definitely not like it was 10 years ago. It's constant, like, anxiety, and I'm constantly thinking about my children, what kind of future they're going to have. I mean, I'm sure some of you are experiencing this as well. Propaganda, St. Pauline Dog. I don't know, I might start doing some videos about that. I mean, I don't know. About the world, God, the universe, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, here we are. I can honestly care less. I'm a 34-year-old without any kids. I'm ready for nuclear war. Baby, for the end of days to begin. Well, I know a lot of Christians that think the Great Reset that, Klaus Schwab and all the New World Order people talk about and their Agenda 2030, that could be the tribulation period. There could be the rapture of the church. Could happen. That could be the Great Reset when everyone's gone. It could be. I'm not saying it is. But since the invention of the internet, there are a lot more people awake than there used to be. Yeah, but there's also a lot more people asleep. Saying it's working. God's using it for good. Satan's using it for evil. And, the one thing people forget, I heard a minister talk about this recently. I saw a pastor preaching. And it's a good point to drive home. It was just a reminder to Christians or people in general that God is omnipresent. He's everywhere. He can be everywhere. He's with you. He's with me in this garage. He's out on, the moon. He's everywhere. He's omnipresent. Everywhere, all day, all times. He needs nothing at all. He's everywhere. Now, Satan, on the other hand, is not omnipresent. He cannot be everywhere at once. He actually needs the technology that we have developed. He needs it to accomplish his plan, of taking over the world for the 7 years tribulation period. He actually needs computers. He needs the internet. He needs all this stuff. So God doesn't need it, but just, Satan does need it. Firefly, vote Biden's woke liberals out and America will... here's the thing though, Firefly. I don't think we can vote ourselves out of this problem. I'll say it this way. The people we need in office can't get into office. There, I'll just say it like that. My brother-in-law believes the rapture will be at the end of the tribulation. Well, there's three views. There's the pre-tribulation rapture, post-tribulation rapture, and some people believe it'll be in the middle of the 7-year tribulation. I'm a pre-tribulation believer myself. That's what I believe. I believe that Satan will not be able to accomplish his plan with the true followers of Jesus Christ here on earth now. I don't believe the Antichrist will be able to rise. And I don't believe the one world government's going to get where it needs to get without the rapture. And, I've read a lot of Bible scripture to back up my belief. That's just me. I wanted Paul to be president, but he didn't have a chance. Oh, John Womack. It's St. Paddy's Day, that's right. The luck of the Irish. The leprechauns are abound. I usually do this when Bowstar is in here, but I have it. This would be a good day to do it, actually. Let's do it again. I do this from time to time. It was a gift from my daughter. It's a hat. She got it, when she was over in Ireland. It says Ireland on it. And if you can read this, I'll try to get a close-up on it. There's the Irish prayer. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your... Here, let me... back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. That's the Irish prayer blessing inside the... I'm not going to put the hat on because I haven't washed it for a while. I'd be afraid of what's on the inside, dust-wise and everything. But that's kind of appropriate for St. Paddy's Day, right? So now we've covered that. We've covered that. Maria Madness is in the house. Maria Madness is in the house. Good to see you. Now, just a reminder to the chat. Last night we had 7 or 8. I couldn't even count them all. OBS drops, internet drops, for whatever reason. If the stream buffers or drops, just refresh. Give it about 30 seconds. I'll be back. The OBS will reconnect. Pre-warning. I hope it's pre-trib. That's Linda Applegate. Firefly. The people of America can can't they? They got rid of Beetlejuice from Chicago. Yeah, but I heard that Lori Lightfoot, oh my goodness, she was the worst. When the whole thing was going on, she was threatening to arrest people, bulldoze down churches. She was going nuts. But she was out and about, living her life carefree. She got caught going to her hairdresser, no mask, all that stuff. And when she was cornered, she said she was a public figure. And so her appearance was important to her. She was more important than you because she was a public figure. And that's the way it went when the whole thing went down. But anyway, I heard that she might get replaced, which you'd think is good, but I heard it could be someone worse than her. Could you imagine someone worse than Lori Lightfoot? Whoa! That would be woke to the 10th degree. The nth degree. Maria Madness says OBS is whacked. I'm not sure we'll even have a 2024. Oh, I think we'll have a 2024 selection. We'll have a 2024 selection. Oh, that was a hot mic. I meant to say election. Selection. Election. Selection. Election. Is it a full moon causing people to drop? The blue cities are about to burn. Get out of them while you can. My suggestion is move to Florida. Zed's place. Hey, Zed. Is she available? I haven't had a headache since I got divorced. Oh, my goodness. Wow. 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 I was playing with my microphone yesterday, the settings, so you'll have to kind of let me know, hey, Shelly, how you doing? You'll have to let me know how the volume sounds and everything, if the microphone sounds all right. It was really whacked out. I couldn't quite get the adjustments the way I wanted it. But the meter looks like it's running about okay. Jenny Marcis says the mic sounds good. I'm due for a new mic. This is my Blue Yeti that I bought like 4 years ago. The thing is like bulletproof, I think. It's still working. Some new Cameron's coffee. Florida's the place to be, completely ridden with hurricanes. Sure-proof way of living. I like Wisconsin. The stuff that happened in Wisconsin when the whole thing hit the fan, I mean, our Supreme Court struck down our governor, got our businesses open, got the masks off. They did a lot for the people. I don't know. I mean, we got the same governor again for another term. That was disappointing. I miss Scott Walker, actually. He was cool. I'm going to lurk till I fall asleep. I got an adult tomorrow. Okay, you lurk till you fall asleep, Shelly. Zed's place, been a while. Yeah, I've had this forever, Jenny. I went out, let's see, Craigslist. That's where I got this. But I'm trying to remember I drove somewhere to get it. Oh, I drove an hour to get it because I was really low on money. And the new Yetis were like 150. And I got this one for like 45, 50 bucks. So I drove like an hour to get it. I saved half the money. Just Jim says, still up as well. I'm usually up until 3 a.m. or watching YouTube. Well, usually what I do, I met Scott Walker at CPAC several years ago. I liked him. But, I look at what just happened in Arizona, which didn't get any media coverage at all. I know it's still ongoing. I mean, there's only so much you can say on YouTube, which is kind of sad that you have to tone down your opinions on things. My OBS will probably drop, but you liked him too? Oh, Brenda Hall's in the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I was just still up. I just did a stream for about 3 hours while I was delivering. Got home, the wife was sleeping. I was like, you know what? I'm still wide awake. I might as well just do another live stream. Why not? Smoke a few more cigarettes, kill my lungs. You know, the usual. But, I mean, well, the blue states, they were never the way they've become. I mean, they've become shitholes with tyrannical kind of rules and just crazy, just horrible, like oppressive rules for the people that live there. They were never like that. I look, anyone with a brain, with a mind that really objectively looks at the world right now in the year 2023 knows that something is not normal. I mean, we've had things happen over the years. We've had scandals over the years. We've had freedom attacked over the years. But what's happened in the past 3, 4, 5 years, I'd say really just 2 to 3. I think most people in their heart and their being and their soul know something's off. They can't put their finger on it, but they know something is not right. You know, what's weird? You say that, St. Pauline Dog, and the criminals run free. I mean, especially when you watch alternative news sources, who has had a charge brought against them that's, with all the stuff that's come out for all different things in all different areas of government, life, society, and it doesn't seem like there's one single charge pressed against any of these people. Not one. Not one. It's a lawlessness that's abounding. I mean, I've never seen where, the President of the United States of America just issues emergency orders, just makes stuff up out of thin air, doesn't get the vote of our government. I mean, I've just never seen the things that go on right now that are going on. People literally are just making stuff up as they go along. And it's kind of like, it's right in our face. Like, what are you going to do about it? But that's why I think that's a sign of the end of the day is lawlessness abounds. I mean, except for Texas electrical grid's completely outdated. They want to be their own state. They have a storm, knocks out the power, then all of a sudden they want help from other states. Well, yeah, they've been talking about succeeding. Or seceding, however you say that. I don't know if that will ever really happen. I doubt it. Sounds good on paper. Sounds plausible, but I don't think it'll ever really happen. Hey, Brown Dwarf, good to see you. Maria Madness says, so frustrating. I mean, if you ask me, Trump should be running our country right now. Carrie Lake should be running Arizona. Gretchen Whitmer, Whitmer, shouldn't be in Michigan. And it just, Kathy Hochul got reelected in New York. I mean, it's just madness. Madness. I heard a great interview with Michelle Bachmann. And she was explaining the times, kind of more from a biblical standpoint. But she just said that the world right now is suffering from a delusion. Like there's a delusion out there sweeping through the minds of people around the world. Well, Maria Madness, it's funny you say that. I watched a it was like a documentary show or something like that. They were doing polls. They were giving statistics. It was something to the effect of, and this is kind of sad, but it was something to the effect of 33%. It was like a third. It was way up there. It was at least 25%, if not higher. I think it was 30% of America, they said, had some form of mental illness, which is sad, of course. I'm not making light of that topic, but it makes it a lot harder to keep your country together if a lot of your residents are actually suffering like that. But tell me, Firefly, I had this exact talk with my wife tonight. If I'll say it this way, take it for however you want to take it. If everything stays the same as it was in 2020, how is Trump going to win in 2024? I mean, just, you know. 33% most likely. Yeah, it was, they've done, I don't know where they got their numbers from, but it was doctors and psychologists and psychiatrists and, this whole group of people that did these polls. And some people think that's from, I can't say, but some people think it's from a lot of the stuff we've been consuming in our food and our water and that kind of stuff. I can't speak for that. You should be running the country, Wacky, Brown Dwarf. Well, I think the problem, Brown Dwarf, I don't think I'll just speak for America, USA. I don't think we have any idea, truly, not really truly, any idea of how compromised our government probably is at very high levels. I think it would be mind-boggling. I don't think the founding fathers ever envisioned. They got, it's a pretty good system we have here with the 3 branches of government and, the way the states are set up and all that. But I don't think that they ever thought that every level of government could get compromised. I think they thought, hey, we got this in place, and that's backup for this. And I don't think they ever envisioned it getting this bad. And they definitely never thought of the information war. I don't think they'll give them a chance in 24, just Jim. Well, that's not quite what I meant. That's not quite the way I meant it, but yeah, it doesn't seem balanced, does it, just Jim? Bring in Dan Quayle to be the GOP nominee. I heard Roger Stone, if you follow him at all, he thinks that the 2024 ticket for the Democrats, this is scary as hell. Just envisioning them running our country. Michelle Obama with Gavin Newsom. That just gave me chills when I heard that. I don't know. We'll see. I worry about where we'll be at in 2 years. Everyone's talking about the future. Oh, 2024, just like everyone was hopeful for the midterms, that's 2 years in the future. Look at the crises we're going through right now. I don't know if we're going to last 2 more years. Seriously. Ted Cruz will sort the Texas border crisis out overnight. Supreme Court vote coming up for... I know. I see those commercials every night. I only see them... I haven't... I've got to dig into it. I think it's April 4th. I think the one is the lady and the other one's Dan Kelly, I think. And the commercials, oh my goodness. They have this commercial that I see every night because I've got the regular TV hooked up in the bedroom. And the commercial says, I think it's Dan Kelly, if I remember right. Like, he went as far as to call abortion murder. We can't have a radical person like this in our government. And I'm thinking to myself, he has the right to that opinion. That's not that radical to have that opinion. I'm not, I mean, they're just like, some people believe that. I don't think that's a crazy radical opinion to have. We'll most likely be in a depression. Just Jim says maybe Russia will just nuke everyone and we'll go back to being caveman and dinosaurs. Shelly says they make it very hard to believe anything a politician says or does, and absolutely no reason to that their motives. Well, anyone who's watched the Wacky for long enough knows, you should know that this is what I believe. I believe what we're witnessing with all these things that are just so out of control is the influence of Satan. That it is a satanic Luciferian agenda that is flowing through these people that are helping bring this New World Order, this mark of the beast, this one world cashless society into existence. The Bible says Satan knows his time is short. I mean, doesn't it seem like it's pedal to the metal right now? All I'm saying is I know everyone's got different beliefs in the chat. But if you open your mind up to the possibility that there is a supernatural influence that is driving this, things, believe it or not, at least to me, make a lot more sense. They really do. A plus B plus C, all these different things going on. If your mind starts thinking, is this humans trying to control the world? Or is this a supernatural presence trying to control the world through humans? I'm just throwing it out there. Just think about it if you're not a believer. Found you on TikTok just now, Wacky. Gave you a follow. Oh, thanks. I haven't done much there, Brown Dwarf. My friends got me all excited about it for about a week. And I kind of lost interest in it. I didn't see myself having a future on TikTok because there's too much controversy with it. And my heart just wasn't in it. My heart's still in YouTube. I know YouTube is heavily censored for certain topics, but YouTube's still a great platform. I still love it here. I still like having a channel here and having a voice here. But bring back Eisenhower. The earth will take care of itself. We're all just ants. Well, have you all seen A Bug's Life? The movie? It's one of my favorites. Me and my daughter will quote lines from it. But when Hopper, the grasshopper, is talking to his other grasshopper friends, and he's like, do you realize these ants outnumber us 100-1? And if they ever figure that out, our way of life is over. There's some truth to that. There's a small group of people that are affecting incredible change in the world that's life-altering for generations. Your children are at risk right now. Thinking about watching it again. I love A Bug's Life. We're looking for tough warrior bugs. I love that. Oh. TikTok is censored as well. Okay, hella censored? Like, just heavily censored? I don't know what the rules are over there. That was a very interesting speech. I thought about the movie at work earlier, Just Jim. Well, that one scene is, of all places, an animated kids movie. You know, that one scene with the grasshoppers about, how they control the ants, but they understand that the ants outnumber them. And if they can't keep them in control, in check, like he says, there goes our way of life. I love that where he's got the nuts. He's like, did that hurt? And he throws a nut at his brother or whatever. And he's like, oh, no. How about that? And he's comparing the nuts he's throwing at, or the little pebbles or whatever, to the ants. And then he goes, how about this? And then he pulls the thing, and all the things pour over his brother. And that's when he goes into that speech. I love that scene. Oh, my goodness. YouTube is where we started. Yeah, Lid Hot Tamara. It's hard, though, if you're into alternative news, Tamara, like I am. Like, I wish I could just speak. I just can't believe we're at a point in human history where other humans are deciding what you can say with your mouth, making things crimes, Can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. Can't talk about that, or we're going to kick your ass out of here. It's really disheartening, My wife, I'm not going to say this right. I got to ask her exactly how she said it, but it is true. She said a lie cannot be scrutinized and is not up for debate. But the truth is up for debate and conversation and talk. And, I forget exactly how she said it, but it was prophetic. I think she said she heard it somewhere. But everyone just gets canceled. Think about it as our history. Together we stand, divided we fail. Well, we're going to fail. We're going to fall, Shelly. That's what I believe. I don't think we're going to make it through all this. I'm an optimist. No matter how awake people are, there's not enough people awake. There's not enough right people in the key areas to affect change. I believe the Bible. I hate to say it. The Bible says there's going to be a one world government. The Bible says there's going to be a cashless society. The Bible says there's going to be a mark of the beast that every man, rich or poor, will have to have in order to buy, sell, or trade. So the question becomes, is God a liar? Was God lying to us? God told us the future of humanity. Either it's going to happen or it's not. Either the book's true or it's not. And if that is true, and I think anyone that really logically thinks about what those words are talking about, the mark of the beast technology is here. It's here. Whether it's being forced on people right now, it doesn't matter. It's here. A one world currency and government is here. Even though it's not in place yet, it's here. So it's easy to see the forming of this new society, this cashless currency. Digital currency is here. Where did the book actually come from? Zed's place. Well, it was written over 1,500 years. Or by many, many authors. But for me, I believe it came from God. I believe it. I don't think it's a matter of liberals or conservative. It's humans in general. There's absolutely no question how much better off the Earth and every other species would be without us. But you know what, Here Be Rabbit? Bible says we're to conquer the earth, subdue it. The earth takes its orders from humans, and it has to adapt. I'm not going to worship the earth. I'm not going to worship the trees. I'm not opposed to, trying to keep things clean. I'm not saying go dump a bunch of chemicals into the rivers. And I'm okay with trying to keep the earth clean to a degree. But when the earth becomes something I am to worship, I'm not going there. The earth is very resilient. God made it very resilient. I mean, come to Wisconsin. Look at how beautiful it is. I'm not into worshiping the earth. Here be rabbit. The Bible is really convenient at telling us what we want to hear. Oh no. Oh, here we go with Here be rabbit. It's a book of truth, Here be rabbit. I don't mind people that want to worship the earth. I mean, everyone's entitled to their beliefs. It's just that it's sort of now, if you really look, it's sort of being twisted with the whole climate crisis and all this to sort of be forced on the world. We can't have cars anymore. We can't have cows anymore. We can't have farms anymore. It's getting overboard. It's getting overboard is the way I look at it. Let out Tamara, the Bible is the living truth, comforts you and gives you what you need. The Bible's a great book, but one must decipher, and it even comes with blank pages at the end in case you run out of zigzags. Oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, I became a Christian when I was 16. That's when I gave my life to Jesus. It's been an up and down walk ever since. It's not reality, Zed's place says. I mean, I could care less. I don't have kids. I think humanity is going to come to an end soon with nuclear war, and I'm fine with it. Wow. Oh, here be rabbit. I don't know what's going to happen. But there's people with itchy finger triggers right now. My wife, this just for me with my belief, she reminds me all the time. Everything that's going on is part of God's plan. He's allowing it. He allows evil people to be in high-powered positions. He allows evil to roam the earth. Everything is part of his plan. I got to remember that at times. I'm like, oh, no, how can they get away with that? Yeah, it's part of God's plan. I got to trust him. My thought is not everything in the Bible is true. Some of it was inserted by humans to put fear into people. A lot of religions teach that you should fear God. Why? He's pure love. Well, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That's one of my favorite verses in the Bible. That's a rad gif. Yeah, I know. I'm just letting this one run. Divine Sorcerer, hello. Maybe it's a test of the human spirit. Yeah, I believe that God's capable to get me the proper book. That's just me. He made the universe. He can get me a book that he wants me to read with his truths in it. I'm not hung up on it was written by men. Was it, the accurate, I believe it. And when I read it, I feel the truth flow through me. When I read the Bible, I can feel the power of it. And, you really think about it. Why is the attack in the world? It's always on Jesus. No one's ever attacking Muhammad or Buddha or anything like that. It's always Jesus. Prayers, Jesus, Jesus. The name of Jesus is the one that's always attacked. Why is that? Probably because he really is who he says he was. I'm just saying, I just don't know what to do right now. That's what we talked about on our stream last night. We were talking about prepping and different scenarios and things like that. It was a really good stream we had. If you didn't see it, you might want to watch it. It was pretty cool. We had JoJo and Davros and a Ghost Mafia, and Cab was up there. It talked about a lot of, and it wasn't really religious in nature. We weren't talking about that. Just about, what you might want to be thinking about right now. Ghost was showing us some ham radios that are like walkie-talkies, communications, things like that. Things that I'm really thinking about. There's some I agree with, some things I don't. Way, the truth, and life, that's why the devil's advocates fear him. Yeah. What a great stream. I'm just talking. I'm just awake, and I'm just shooting the breeze. I'm just shooting the... Yeah, God works in mysterious ways. Absolutely, Brown Dwarf. Firefly, Trump 2024-2028. Well, if he got reelected, he'd only be able to do one term. You can only do 2 terms as a president, even if they're broken up. I don't think he's getting back in myself. Not because the people don't want him. The powers that be, I think, will stop him. But, I got my doubts about Trump. Anyway. I mean, he's the one that did the emergency orders that shut down everything. He's the one that did the warp speed. I don't know. We might just be played. I don't know. Over 50 and fantabulous. Brown Dwarf says, I haven't hung out with you guys in a few years. I'm still on the Bigfoot journey. I don't know about Bigfoot. I don't know. Maybe he's real. No, he can do 3 terms, Dave. They've been other presidents. Well, in the past, but I think they passed a law for presidents. I think it's only 2 terms max. I think that's a law now. Henry Kissinger. Oh my goodness. He's the one that got Nixon to give in to getting off the gold standard. He's part of the World Economic Forum. Oh man, there's a funny skit on Saturday Night Live. It's so politically incorrect. But if you go watch Dan Aykroyd with John Belushi playing Kissinger, I can't even repeat what he says. You'll have to watch it. It's probably on YouTube. It's hilarious. I just got done watching Route 666. Good movie. Zed's Place. Keep reading a book a human wrote. Well, how else would you want God to bring you his word? I would say to that, Zed. I've had this conversation many times with people. And they're like, well, if the Bible would have been glowing in the sky and came down into my hands, then I'd believe it. How is God going to give you his words? He's going to have to give it to you through the people that he chose to write it for him. But back to this, what was this? Learn your history. You can do 3 terms. Does anyone know? I mean, I'm not going to look it up right this second. My understanding was you used to be able to do multiple terms as a president, but there was an amendment or something where it was limited to 2 terms. Preach it, Wacky. Oh, I could preach it. I could be like, friends, the evil in the world is taking over. I need you to sow a seed. I need you to sow a seed. There's 50 people out there with $1,000. I need you to sow a seed, and that seed's going to grow and grow and grow. The wacky preacher. It's not me, though. They can do 2.5. You absolutely could not do more than 2 terms. The only exception is if you take over as vice president in the middle of the president's term and then get elected twice after that. Yeah. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. Zed, I have seen God. I've seen him work in my life. I've seen God answer prayers, sometimes in minutes, seconds. I've seen God in my life numerous times. He showed up. He has showed up. I've seen his miracles. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I have seen his handiwork. Jeepers, I remember Lou Rock. He was in the hospital with life-threatening pneumonia. We did a prayer stream for him, and he was like healed, like instantly. Talk to Lou Rock about that miracle. That's one of our own here on YouTube. Wacky could probably sell miracle water. Has anyone seen the new movie Jesus Revolution? No. But I have seen The Chosen, and I don't like it. I don't think it's extremely misleading. I have seen that one. Keep going, Dave. Your replies are making the doubters look, what? By the way, let me give you a disclaimer or something, by the way. The only reason that all these years that I've been on YouTube, it's not my focus of my channel. The only reason that I share Jesus sometimes is because I love you and he loves you. That's the only reason. I don't want you to join a church. I don't want your money. I don't want you to do anything other than have a life, an eternal life. It's love. It's not because I want to debate people in the chat. It's not because I want to argue with people. I'm a sinner saved by the grace of God. Jesus has saved me, and he accepts me, and I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. But it's kind of a disclaimer here. If you're hearing any of these words, the only reason that I tell you these things is out of love. Out of love. That's how strongly I believe in the truth and the gospel of Jesus Christ. So just keep that in mind. You know, if we're talking about God on a stream like we just happen to be, that's why. That's the only reason why. Because I don't want anyone to end up in hell, which I believe is a real place. So I'm just kind of saying that. Let God help the injuries of the earth. What is this Jesus Revolution? Is this out in theaters, or is it online, or I haven't heard of this. Prayers are answered. My first one is sleeping 2 feet away. Well, I'll tell you this much. My son, this would be my second oldest son, not my oldest son. Many years ago, when he was about 8 years old, he went to a Bible camp, and they happened to go to a water park that day. He drowned. No one saw him. He went under the water after coming down a water slide. He was dead. They basically brought his body out of the water. He hadn't been breathing he was blue, everything. And Johnny and some other, it was one of the counselors at the camp, jumped in, was praying over him. Everyone was praying over him. And it was unbelievable. There was a doctor there at the water park that day, not one of the staff, just someone enjoying it with his family. They brought my kid back to life. We almost lost him that day. I've seen miracles like that. You wouldn't believe what my wife went through to carry him too. She had gestational diabetes, and she had a PICC line in her. She couldn't eat for like 6 months. She could only sit on the couch and be intravenously fed. I've seen miracles. I've seen prayers answered for health, finance, friends, you name it, one after the other. I'm just kind of saying that. It chronicled the Jesus movement from 68 to 73. Who was stoned? Wait. Well, Zed's place. Now that would be a reason to be angry at God. At least you're being honest. God took your mother away. So there's no God. I would argue we don't know why we lose loved ones at different times in our life. I can sympathize with you, Zed. 96, I lost my dad. That was the first to go. And I talked to him the night before he died, and I actually blew him off. I regret that. He died the next morning at his apartment. My sister went next from colon cancer. She was only early 50s. Lost my sister. My mom went next. She died in my living room at this house. We took care of her in hospice for 9 months. She passed away. I was with her at midnight. Sometime through the night, she passed away. I woke up to my mom had passed away. Then my brother went 6 months later. So my dad, my brother, my sister, my mom, all gone. And then on my wife's side, it's been about 8. I just talked about this on my stream earlier. So we're up to about 12 deaths in our family. I can relate to death. I can relate to that. And it does hurt. It does hurt. The movie is in theaters. It's a good movie about how God worked in Chuck Smith's life. Kelsey Grammer is in it. No, not familiar with it. I'll have to watch the trailer on YouTube. Lit Out Tamira says, Zed, my mom passed away a year ago. I feel your pain, and I know that you have feelings that makes you think and feel that way. We are promised to live and to die. You don't watch the news? What do you mean? You know, I would say this, though. Now, this is going to sound... Don't take this the wrong way. But when I say this, when someone dies that's close to us, like, I can see you're hurting, Zed, obviously. What would have been a better outcome? You said God took your mom from you, and so there is no God. But people are not going to live forever. They're going to die. She would have died at some point, just like you're going to die. Just like I'm going to die, my daughters, my sons. So if she would have lived longer, would it made you feel better about it? Like from a God standpoint? I mean, we just don't know. Everyone dies at different points in their life. Some people die young, some old. We don't know why. I'm just saying, I know you're mad at God, you know. Human beings are terrible, but keep praying to a God that isn't even there. We all died. No, she died. I'm just saying, we all would have died at some point. It's just some are taken early. And it's sad because we're the ones, when someone leaves us and we're the ones still here, the grief is, we have to go through that grief because they're gone. And so we have to figure out ways to deal with it. My mom is a thought. No, we all die. I'd probably say this too. It's just me. And take it for what it's worth. I promise you this is true when I say this, but you don't have to accept it. The devil wants you mad at God. The devil wants you to hate God, and the devil wants you to run from God, and the devil wants you to turn away from God, turn your back on God, because the devil wants your soul when you die. So the better job he can do at making you angry at God, I'm just saying, that's what the devil wants. God doesn't want that plan for you. He says in the Bible, he's not willing that any should perish. I'm just saying. And so what you are saying is believe in something that is fake that you can't see just to better your life. First of all, I would say this, Zed. The Bible says no one can come to the Father unless they're drawn. There's certain clues that you get just being alive as a human. For example, the Bible says the heavens declare the glory of God. First step, look around you. Look at all the plants, the trees, the people, the universe. It's easy to start thinking about a God when you take baby steps. Number one. Number two, we all have a soul, a conscience that's in us, that's desiring a relationship with God. It's there. It's God put it in everyone, even though some people turn from it. Bible was written by many authors over many years on several different continents. Do you know there's over 7,000 manuscripts of the Bible, and they're all the same? They all interact with each other properly? There's more Bible pages and manuscripts out there than things that are accepted as fact that are Greek writings, historians. If you really want to try to find out about the Bible, Zed, I would say this. Study Bible prophecy. Study Bible prophecy. The Old Testament alone predicted Christ. Mathematicians have tried to actually calculate the odds of Jesus fulfilling all the prophecy in the Old Testament. And it's been to the unbelievable power. You know how they put to the 10th power, the 100th power? If you study Bible prophecy, but, more so than that, I would tell you this, Ed. I can't tell you what to believe. Bible says if you seek for God, he'll reveal himself to you. But if you're not seeking him and not searching, you'll never find him. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man should have me... Wait, what is that? Soul is the motor that drives the car, which is your body. Yeah, it's a good way of saying it. Oh, lit out Tamara. I'm a Star Trek nut. I love Star Trek. I'm a nut. I'm a Trekkie. Get me started on Star Trek. We could do a whole stream for it. Man, I miss so many comments here. I'm going to be so mad when my parents pass. They brought me into the life. Had to be stuck here after they're gone. What a complete nightmare. My daughter was 2 weeks old when she passed away. It's not fair. I have to believe that one day I'll see her again. Lit out Tamara, Bennett and Grace. We have 2 children to meet in heaven. We lost one to stillbirth and one to a miscarriage. I can relate to that. I have 2 children to meet in heaven. God took them home. Brenda Hall says, my belief is that every soul has the choice to stay or go. I wanted my mom to live longer, but her quality of life would have been a curse. She had dementia very bad. She knew it. Go watch Star Trek. Oh, that's where that came from. Go watch Star Trek. That's what they believed in. Shelly, everyone that reads the Bible comprehends it differently. Did you ever see him? I can't imagine bringing a kid into the world. Here be Rabbit. Did you ever meet him? Megan's here. Hey, Megan. She must be at work, actually. Hi, Megan. Yeah, I feel I've met God several times, Zed. I've seen his miracles. I've seen his handiwork. But remember, not every prayer is answered the way that we want it. We can pray for things. It has to be God's will. You either get a yes, no, or maybe later answer on every prayer. Yeah, I've seen God do miracles in my life. I'm 56. I can't even count them all. I am at work. Yeah, I don't know how we started talking about God, but we started talking about God, Megan. So we're getting a... By the way, thank you, everyone. There's great conversation going on in the chat, and it doesn't seem like anyone's really fighting with anyone. So that's cool. Thank you. Thank you. I love it when we can just talk and people can share their ideas and not. I've seen some knockdown, drag out fights go on in the chat sometimes when we talk about God. I have. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not real. Well, yeah, now that's a good point, Lidat Tamara, because, you know, take, for example, air. You're breathing air. You can't deny that you're breathing air. I can't see the air, but I know I'm breathing it. Have you ever seen air? Is air real? Be the same situation. What about the wind? Can you see the wind when it blows? You feel it on your face. It's invisible. The wind, you might see trees moving and things like that, but do you actually see wind? But you know it's real. There's a lot of examples of things that you can't see that you have to believe in. If you really think about it. My family lost a brother. He was 9 months old. Accidental home death. My mom had a massive heart attack. She died on the way to the hospital. Sorry to hear that, Shelly. Over 50 and fantabulous. How about gravity? Well, I can't see that either. I'm just saying. There are things that are invisible that you would have to admit are real. If you really think about it. I'm just saying. Can't see germs. Wind is the example that Jesus used in John 3. They revived her 2 days later. She said she got to hold baby Danny again. Oh, wow. Or, hey, I never touched another planet. And Zed, I'm not ganging up on you, trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I know what you're going through. I've witnessed to a lot of people over the years in all different situations, and I've run into this a lot, where someone is angry at God because a loved one passed away early. That's a very common belief. You're not alone. You're not alone. Or I've talked to people that have gone through abusive relationships, or, you know, horrible things happen in their home life, or things like that. And so there's a lot of reasons that make you angry at God. And it's kind of hard when you're in that state of mind to say, okay, God, I'm going to believe in you. I'm going to trust you. And wherever the chips fall in this life, I'm going to let them fall, and I'm still going to trust you. We are ants, very small speck micro. Just because you can't see it touch something doesn't mean it's not real. Yeah, lit out Tamara. I was very angry. I just turned a teenager. Can't see your soul, but you know you have one. Brenda Hall. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I know I have one. You know, if you go look, there's documentaries on it. There was a guy back in the, I think it was the 20s. He was actually trying to measure the weight of the human soul. Has anyone seen that? I don't know the guy's name. I could Google it. He gave it a weight. I think it was like 1.5 grams or something like that. And what they were trying to do were they were trying to get people that were in hospice in their final days, and they were trying to get them to be weighed up until the time of death, and then when they died, get their weight. I'm not kidding. You can't make this stuff up. Now, I'm not saying the human soul has a weight to it, but someone actually tried to do that, actually. I have no soul, just feelings. Well, Zed, I would encourage you to explore that. You do have a soul. You do have a soul. We all have a soul. Someone loaned me an ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is the best. Yeah. Now, I'll use ibuprofen for toothaches and things like that. I can't do aspirin. He understands and continues to love us, accepts us back when we are ready. Well, I'll tell you this much, and I'll just tell you it from my own experience. This is just my own experience. Becoming a born-again Christian, trusting Jesus, getting the Holy Spirit in my mind for knowledge, what I've realized from when I was not a Christian to now being a Christian is that God's plan is eternal. And so the problem we have as humans, this is just what I've learned, is we sort of equate everything going on in this life, who lives, who dies, who gets murdered, who gets raped, who gets, a nuclear war, whatever it may be. What I'm getting at is that once you get into that relationship with God, His plan is an eternal plan. It's not this earth. It's not here. Our home is in heaven. So the 60 years you live here, the 70 years you live here, the 80 years, or if you're unfortunate and die early, 20, 30, 40, whatever it may be, what I'm getting at is this is not the real world that we're living in. This is the Matrix. The world that God planned beyond here is eternal. That's the world to focus on, the eternal life. Can you imagine? I mean, it's mind-boggling. We can't even think of it. You could be alive for 1,000,000 years, and that would be like a blink of an eye. Imagine being alive for 1,000,000 years in a body that never dies, never gets sick. I'm just saying. When you realize that God's plan for you, for me, for all of us, is a future eternal plan, it's easier to realize that we're living in a fallen world right now. Tamara, way to pull out the heavy hitting metaphor. Wait, what did... You can lead a horse to water, you just can't make him drink. You seriously think your soul flies away from you when dies, like watching cartoons? Well, I don't know how God does that. The Bible says when we die, it's appointed to men once to die. After death, the judgment. So according to God's word, He portrays you and me as dying and then going to be judged. So we're flying off to be judged. And I don't think it really matters when that happens, because to us it'll seem like we're sleeping. It's kind of like when you go to sleep. You go to sleep, you wake up, 8 hours have gone by. It wouldn't matter if 1,000 years went by. You wouldn't know. So... Your time on earth is the shortest part of your life because you live forever. The body is heavy sort of hindrance to the soul. The Matrix? Really? Well, in a sense, we're not in the real world that we're intended to be in right now, Zed. God's got a perfect plan for you. A perfect plan. You know, I'll tell you this much too, Zed. The story of the 100 sheep. One sheep runs away, and the shepherd, runs off and leaves the 99 to get the one lost sheep. And when he comes back, he brags about how he found the lost sheep. What I'm getting at is that you can't even imagine how much Jesus loves you. You might not think that right now. You might not think that right now in your state of mind. The love that God has for you and everyone in this chat and everyone on this planet is beyond comprehension. That's like the most quoted verse in the Bible, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall have eternal life and not perish. That's why he sent Jesus to the cross, to take your place. If you have a heartache in the middle of heartache in the middle of the night and you die, you won't know. Oh, heart attack, I suppose you mean. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Yeah, over 50 and fantabulous. I know this, Ed. When I became a born-again Christian and I got hit with the Holy Spirit, I had heat come through my body. I felt the supernatural presence of God, and I felt his love. That was my own testimony. And I swear, I know this isn't going to might sound crazy, but at 11:30 at night, the world looked one way. When I gave my life to Christ at midnight, I was 16. The world looked a different way. I actually saw the world differently. Just in the span of a half hour to an hour. It was like, bam! Like, electricity came over me. But the biggest thing, 11:30 at night when this happened, all my terrible stuff I'd been doing had caught up with me. I felt evil and wicked and hated and, just, drugs, shoplifting, stealing, and other stuff. And after I got saved, I felt love and acceptance from God. God was like, put his hand on me like, be still, Wacky. I love you. I've got a plan for you, and I forgive you. And I felt all that in that moment. I really supernaturally felt that. And my life has been there's been times in my life where I've been following God more than other times. I'm weak sometimes. I stumble and I just get back up. I haven't given up these cigarettes, which I really wish I would. Tamara says, we don't know what the future holds. Did you just say my state of mind preaching me some other person's words? What? I'm so sorry, Wacky. What did I say? You lost all respect for me for what I said. What did I say? That Jesus loves you? I know about Austin 3:16. He just whooped and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. What? What are you talking about, Zed? What did I say? You lost all respect for me. I'm waiting to see what it is I said that offended you so greatly. What did I say? What did I say? Really, because his thoughts are different from yours. But what was it that I said that was so hurtful? What did I miss? I'm just telling you about my experience and that Jesus loves you. Gibby Rabbit. Oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's a wrestling thing? Spiritual eyes are shut. They see what they can't see. Our differences in thoughts and beliefs are what makes us unique. What have I said that sent Zed into a tailspin? You still out there, Zed? Why don't you type to me what I said that sent you into a tailspin? I mean, you don't have to stay here. It's just how I feel. Start talking about God, it's going to get emotional. Without Tamara, Zed, we might not be everyone's cup of tea, but we still have to agree to disagree. Respect comes from within. Can't please everyone. I just don't know what I said to you, Zed, that was so hurtful. What if Jesus loves you? I gave you my testimony, what happened to me. Quoting John 3:16, God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. What did I say? Well, maybe he's not going to type anymore. Maybe he left. Unsubscribed from me. Whatever, Zed. I can't change how I feel. Maybe. That could be Brenda. Actually, I didn't ask Zed if this was recent, with his mom passing away. I guess I didn't catch that. It could be new. Oh, you're still here, Zed. I still don't know what I said, though. The old stoner. How you doing? I got a little deep tonight. I don't know. We started talking about God. I forget what brought it up. I don't know. It just came up and we rolled with it. You have to at least... Yeah, I'm not trying to say anything to hurt you, Zed. If anything, I'm trying to help you with your pain. Because, I mean, I really can't. God's the one who can help you with your pain. Well, I'm glad you're still here. At least, Zed, there's a lot of caring people in the chat right now. That's all I can say. Obviously, you do have feelings and pain. You're still hurt from your mom's death, right? And Zed, again, I've been through your pain 12 times. I told you, my dad, my mom died in my living room of my house. My sister, my brother, Gene on my wife's side. I love that man. I know he's with the Lord right now. You have a good night? No, I'm done with your God talk. Well, you don't have to be here tonight for God talk. Come to another stream. Come to another stream where we're not talking about God. It just came up in conversation, Zed. I just rolled with it. Remember growing up, my mom legit had the hippie Bible called The Way. Hippies all over the cover. Was that bizarre? Yeah, we don't always talk about God, Zed. You know that. It just came up. I don't know how it came up. I don't even remember. We just rolled with it. People were talking. I do hope you have a good night. I hope you can find some peace, Zed. I don't know, it just came up. That's the way streams are. Streams just go the way they go. There's no rules, rhyme, regulations to streams. Things come up, and we just talk about them. If the chat's talking about them, we keep talking about them. Look at all the caring people out there, Zed. Read their comments. Yeah, Shelly, I've been through a lot. Well, and again, that was 2 children, too. Add that to the list where I've encountered about 14 deaths. Do you know that when my one child was born, stillborn, my wife, Lori, had to deliver that child dead? I was sitting in the waiting room. I couldn't bear. It was so painful. And the nurse came out, and actually they had taken our baby had footprints that they put on a piece of paper. They have a little certificate thing. I mean, talk about pain. That was my own child that we were expecting in a matter of like weeks. So, I mean, I can relate to the pain of death. I can relate to the pain of death big time. Yeah, it was, my wife was beyond, if it wasn't for God, she would have lost it. And you know what? We didn't give up. That's how my 18-year-old son, Jaden, that you've seen in the videos, that's how he got here. Because we tried again. It's officially St. Patrick's Day. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll have something to break it up. I'll break it up. I'll break it up with the appropriate song. I know exactly what we need right now. Find the beauty in the world. A mountaintop, a beautiful sunrise. Take yourself there. It's the beauty in the world. Today, look for the beauty. It's a beautiful day. Find the beauty in the world. A lovable puppy, a beautiful girl. Find the beauty in the world. Today, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful world.
This world seems down, I feel like a clown. My raps don't flow and I feel so low. It's the stress, the negativity, the empty promises that I need to find. The good things, the positivity. Fill my heart with this world's beauty.
Find the beauty in the world today. Find the beauty in the world today. Find it, the beauty. Find the beauty in the world. The beautiful things that make life worthwhile. Find the beauty in the world. Today, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Find the beauty in the world, the things in life, the beautiful things that make us smile, that make us smile in a beautiful world. It's a beautiful world.
Find the beauty, the smiles, things that make life worthwhile. Find yourself, find the beauty in the world.
feel I've failed 1,000 times. I can't escape what's in my mind. I've tried before, my heart gets torn and things get out of line. So now I'm just a prisoner in my mind. Outside is where I want to be. Outside is where I'm finally free. I can breathe again, my heart's beating, the planets are aligned. Outside, outside of my mind. Let's open our eyes and all realize we can be who we want to be. Climb the highest mountain and swim the deepest sea. It's always up to me. Outside, let's break off all the chains that keep us from being alive. Outside, let's go outside of our minds. People kick us when we're down, makes me feel like a clown, but I'm taking back my life. I'm breaking all the chains, forgetting all the stains, and opening up my eyes. Outside, 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 outside. Today, and don't let the world get in the way. Be who you are today, and don't let the world get in the way. Go climb the highest mountain, swim the deepest sea. Climb the highest mountain, be who you want to be. Break off all the chains, forget about the stains. Outside, outside, it's time to start being alive. Outside, it's time to start being alive. Outside, the freedom's in our mind. Yeah. Couple uplifting songs, huh? Yeah, maybe we needed that. I do care, by the way. I do care, Linda Applegate. I do care. I care about people. I really do. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not the perfect husband. I'm not the perfect dad. I'm not always the perfect friend, but I just try. I've got the moves. Man, I lost a lot of weight now that I got a job delivering again. Oh, man. I look at some of these old videos and I'm like, man, did I have the belly. Oh, well, whatever. It's fine. It's got the moves like Jagger. Got the moves like Jagger. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. Got the moves like Jagger. I have a... Oh, no, wait a minute. Now, this is just for fun. Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can find it. This is just for fun. You just made me think of something. It's short. It's short. Let's see. Videos. Let me see if it was called. I'm gonna see if I can search. Not the about. Let's see if I search. If I do videos and search. Hold on. Oh, I might have to look on my playlist. Okay, hold on. I'm just doing this for fun. Just hold on just a sec. I gotta click on all my play. I hate the way YouTube set up sometimes the playlists. I had a special. Nope, not Dad and Son. Okay, here it's gonna be over here in this playlist. Hold on. Okay, it's right here. I didn't know what I had called the video. Okay, hold on. Just for fun. This is old school wacky. You were talking about the moves like Jagger. Alright, let me see if I can pull this up. Internet. Yeah, okay, alright, here it is. Okay. Let me get myself out of the picture a little more. I'll have to turn the desktop audio up. I'll have to mute my mic. It's short. It's only 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Welcome to Famous People Around the World. Now today we've prepared a special show for you. I will be portraying Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones, while my co-assistant here, Haley, will be taking the role of Gordon Ramsay from Cooking Nightmare Disasters. Are you ready? Shattered, sue me! Shattered, sue me! Shattered, sue me! If you stop me up, I'll never stop! Stop me up! While I'm shattered, stop me up! Stop me up! Stop me up! Stop me up! Now, my co-assistant will take the lead with Gordon Ramsay. Come on.
I'm like crying.
Just do it. Come on. Shh. Sweet.
Yeah, can you tell that I've been like laugh crying?
No, go ahead.
Alright.
Excuse me.
That was bloody awful! I've seen better food on the floor of a parking lot! You serve this to your customers? You call yourself a chef?
If all you're doing is watching my latest video...
Welcome to Famous...
So, as you can see, I do have the moves like Jagger. I had the proof. Wow, what is that? A super chat? It's from, hold on a sec here. Who's your hippie? Denise? Wacky, praise Jesus. His light shines through you for non-believers. And your light testimony, I pray, touch Zed or others to seek him for comfort. God bless. By the way, I ordered your coffee and love it. Thank you. Oh, wow. Wow, thank you. Thank you. That was very kind of you. Thank you, very kind. Thank you. And yeah, I do hope people get touched. That was classic, Lid Hot Tamara. That was. I know I haven't made any comedy videos for a while, but I've got hundreds of them. So I figure Nobody's seen them all, so they can still go watch them. They can binge watch them. One night over on D-Live, I played all 43 of my songs in a row. All 43 songs I did the live stream. Jiffy Popcorn came to thought, who all remember the top pops when you cook it. I don't think I ever seen this one. What a treat. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them here, B-Rabbit, if you go dig around. I think I've got like 300 comedy videos. Unbelievably random and brilliant. You do have the moves, LOL. Thanks. Yeah. But Megan's the one who does the dance streams, so she's the, my daughter, she can move. I'm just, Haley, she's just been able to flow. She's got the flow, the flow thing. Oh, Friday morning at the Wackies. Oh, my goodness. Thanks for hanging out, Insomniacs. Insomniacs unite. Screen bump. This has been kind of fun streaming on YouTube tonight and last night. I do miss the tube. I talked about this on my stream last night, but I don't know if you guys go through this, whoever still streams, where you've got the computer in front of you and you're actually awake, could be the morning, afternoon, whenever, and you actually have the time to stream. Like, you really don't have anything to do. And you get to where you're thinking about it, you open up your OBS, and you're like, oh, all I gotta do is start stream. And you're like, no. I don't know what I'll talk about, I'm afraid. I'm scared. What will I talk about right now? No, I'll do it later. And later never comes. Yeah, I gotta redo my OBS here, B-Rabbit. I've got a lot of backgrounds. Here's all my... Here, I'll show you them all. Fireworks. Random cool. Trees. That has been... That was a quilt that the seamstress had that she gave us a picture of in some Ozzy. That one changed a little. I still got... That was with Nerd of the North. Space. I've got monsters. Some of them are out of whack. I got to go through them. That was just my space scene. I've got my graffiti. I've got neon. I've gone green. I'm going green. Got the cross. I got moist. See, some of these are out of whack. They got to be readjusted. My OBS is all out of whack. I got cats. I got the ocean. I got Megan's ocean and her puppy from South Africa. I've got Ozzy when he was a puppy. See, I've got a news background. I've got Zara's picture she gave me from Germany one morning. Let's see. This is just my guitar. I got that background. Oh, that was a good one. Ben Franklin quote. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserves neither liberty nor safety. I've got Nerd of the North in his finest. I did make one that I was making coffee. Let's see here. Then I've got mountains. Neon bars, fish, explosions, comics, mountains, fire flames, more flames. I think that's pretty much all of them. So I got a whole bunch of backgrounds. I do like this one, though. Yeah, but I've got to revamp them. I've got to get my background music, new background music, and I've got so many. I'm just. There was a time when I used to stream, and now I simply can't be bothered. Well, yeah. What is Who's your hippie is saying here, Denise? I've been a silent watcher for years and mostly crafting while listening, but I love your vids and lives. Oh wow, thank you. I'm kind of like Cab, my brother Cab, because he'll always put on his stream, or he'll always say, "You never know what's going to happen on a Cab 7 live stream." That's kind of his tagline. It's kind of the same way here. You never know what's going to happen on a Green Bay Wacky live stream. Could talk about God, the end of the world. Could be about music. Could be about television shows. Could be, you know. Well, I actually had the privilege of meeting him in real life a couple times. In Kansas at June Galls, and here in my house for 3 days. Oh, that was just amazing when he came to the house. Of all times to come, it was 60 below wind chills. Oh, we had some adventures. It was like 30 to 40 below actual. And some of the stuff that didn't get filmed, my favorite thing, I bring this up once in a while, but I haven't talked about it for a while. My favorite thing that happened when Cab came to my house. So I snowblowed out a spot for him to park his big badass pickup truck, and it's a new one. Fairly new, you know. It's a little older now, but at the time it was only a year or two old. Now Cab, you know, lives in, you know, a different area of the, you know, the United States, Pennsylvania. But anyway, so he comes here and he lets his truck sit out there. And I told Cab, now I'm out starting my van because I'm in Wisconsin where when it gets cold, the only way to overcome it is to start your vehicle every 4 or 5 hours, let it run, kind of recharges the battery, warms the engine up. So I told Cab, you better go start your truck, Cab. It's almost like 30 below. And he goes, oh, it's a new truck. No, don't worry about it. I was like, Cab, I'm telling you. And anyway, he kind of blew it off. Finally, after I think he was here for about 15 hours, his truck had sat out there. He finally says, okay, Dave, we'll go start the damn truck. He's not a worry in the world. I've got a new truck. It's badass. So he goes out, and what does this truck do? Ruh, 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 ruh. I'm like, Cab, I told you, man. I told you. He's like, damn, his pride, I could see. It was like a big dagger through his heart. It was like a dagger just through his heart. Badass truck. So we get my battery jump starter. We go out there and charge up his battery to get it to start. But this is what's funny. It's not necessary, but it's on a lot of newer vehicles. They have a rubber little plastic. It's rubber under normal temperatures. It's a little rubber plastic battery cover for the positive, so it's red. So it's really just a piece of rubber shaped to fit over your battery cable. So I lift it up with my hand. I lift it up to put the battery charger cables on, and it breaks. And the look on Cab's face, he was horrified. Here's his beautiful brand new truck, and he sees that thing break. And I'm like, sorry, bro. It was so brittle in the cold that it actually broke. So we jumped. We got his truck going finally. We had to pump the gas and, you know, and finally got it going. And then after that, he started it every few hours. But I took that part off his battery. I think he's still got it on there today. And I was able to drill some holes in it, put some twisty ties, and put it back on the battery cable so it would cover his little battery post. And I'll never forget that. The look on his face when he saw... Now, if you worked on cars, you wouldn't even give a second thought to the little plastic cover over your battery cable breaking. It's not even necessary. But for Cab, who doesn't work on cars, He was like horrified. And it turned out, then he was like, well, I'll just get a new one when I go back. And I fixed it for him. But we looked it up online, and it turns out the model of truck that he has, the plastic cover is built into the battery cable. It's actually sealed onto the battery cable. So it was going to be like $180, and you'd have to replace the whole battery cable down. So I got him around to my way of thinking that, look, Cab, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay that your battery little red cover has a couple twisty ties on it. It's not going to hurt anything. It'll probably be with your truck longer than your truck is alive. So that was the funniest thing, and that did not get captured on camera. Unfortunately, I should have filmed the whole ordeal. And then I figured out why his truck wouldn't start. He's got a big, badass 4-wheel drive truck, and apparently over in Pennsylvania it doesn't get that cold. He only had a 750 amp battery in it. I'm like, any truck like that should have 1,000 plus cold cranking amps. So that's the funny story. Okay, let me see what happened in the chat. Twisted Ladies in the chat. Hey, good to see you. Oh, the dog neighbor skit. That's the best. That's the best. That has got to be my favorite, actually. And I said that a million times. I live in Arizona. Oh, who's your hippie? Is in Arizona. Wow. Kerry Lake should have been governor. I'm just saying. Sorry, that was political. But yeah, that dog neighbor skit. But I've told this. Oh, Gene Chambers? Holy crap. Gene Chambers out in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you in the chat. But, yeah, it was priceless. It was priceless, Hoosier. But, we've said this on other streams, but not everyone maybe was here when we said it. The dog skit that we did where we acted like two neighbors that was at June Gall's, we filmed that. And Aniki was actually the one who filmed it on the cell phone. She was back on the step, like out of view. But the video was supposed to be a run through, a practice. Like, let's practice this once before we film it. But what happened was, it actually turned out so good that Cab was like, that's it, cut. That's it. That's the video. And I was like, shouldn't we do it again? And we watched it back, and we're like, that is pretty good. But if you actually look at the very end of the video, look at my face closely. I couldn't hold back my laughter. I was like, I was trying to stay in character, but I could, the very final second, I'm ready to just like burst out laughing. Wait, Zed's back. Wacky, I do love you. Good night. Hey, Zed, we mixed it up a little bit. You got heavy there for a little bit. It's all good, man. It's all out of love. There's a lot of love in this community for everyone, and no worries, man. I mean, I'm sorry it got kind of deep there for a little bit, but it just, live streams just go where they go. That's the one thing I've learned about live streaming. They just, they go where they go. I mean, we've had live streams, I kid you not. We had a live stream once, years ago, where someone in the chat wanted to commit suicide, and they were posting videos that they were sending people to watch of them popping pills, and I mean, we had to try to talk them off a ledge to save their life. That actually really happened. I mean, not to mention all the crazy ones where we went through for, well, I'm not going to get into that, but they just go where they go. We've had people that have lost people the night of coming into the stream and they want to talk. And I mean, they just go where they go. We no rhyme or reason. Man, the dog video. Yeah. Oh, man, I wonder if okay, hold on. I wonder if I can find it. All right, we should do it one more time. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. We got to go over to Cab's channel. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, videos. Let's search neighbor. N-E-I-G neighbor. Yep, we got it. Okay, we got it. We're gonna watch it. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I'm on normal speed. I don't know if you guys do this. Not things like this. I watch a lot of videos, especially news, on 1.5 speed, sometimes even 2 speed. But yeah, we're going to go back in time. We're going to play it. Here we go. Not again. I got proof this time. I am so sick of this. Get out of here! Bob, get out here. Get out here! Come out!
What the hell do you want?
Your dog.
What about my
He shit
dog?
in my yard again.
It did not.
Yes, he did.
You know,
I got
you,
the proof.
you keep coming over here every damn day telling me that my dog's sitting on your yard.
He's putting stains in my yard.
Where? I don't see no.
Have a
What
look.
what the hell
Get
is
your
it?
ass
No,
out here.
what the hell is a stain? What the hell is a stain? What? What? Who calls?
Yellow.
Yellow stain. What?
Yeah, yellow stain.
I don't drink yellow.
No, yellow.
No.
I got the proof.
It's called dead spot.
Do you know how much me and my wife
Dead,
spend on my
listen,
grass?
it's called a dead
No.
spot. It's not called a yellow. What's this shit? What's
This. I've got the proof.
Okay, let me see it.
This is it right here. Look at this.
That's not my dog's shit.
Yeah, it is.
Well, no, wait a second.
I brought it with
wait,
me.
Wait,
No,
let
no,
me see.
no.
Let me see it, though. Open it up.
You're going to take it away like it didn't happen.
Open it up.
Yeah, that's your dog's shit.
No way.
He's staying in my yard.
I can tell you if it is.
What the?
I sniffed a bouquet, huh?
Yes, that's your...
Sniff. Chihuahua? German Shepherd? Yeah, that's it.
That's the best. That's the best. That's the best. That's the best one we ever did. That's the best video and that was one take. One take. But I'm losing it at the end. I couldn't keep it. I was inside, like, wanting to just laugh my butt off. Thank you. I'll take a bow. Oh, my goodness. Let me get back to the chats. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I just love that one. That was too gross. Well, Linda, the funny story behind it, again, we've told the story, but not everyone's heard the story. When we set up the skit, when we decided what we're going to do, number one, I thought I was going to break June Gull's door. That was June Gull's house. And it just happened to be rickety and kind of loose. And Cab was like, I thought you were going to break her window. But anyway, when we were setting up the skit, we were kind of going over what we were going to do. We were going to put the candy bar on Cab's shoe or on my shoe. Like I stepped in the dog stuff and then Cab was going to do his thing. And I was the one that was kind of like, I don't know if I really want you to eat the candy bar off my shoe, like for real, So I said, I got an idea. Let's put it in a napkin and I'll bring it over like I'm the mad neighbor and I'm bringing it over to show it to you. And then you can eat it off the napkin and it'll be a little better. But I think Cap would have eaten it off the shoe. I no doubts. I think he would have eaten it off the shoe because that's just who Cab is, See, I love telling the behind the scenes stories of the videos. I love telling those. It just kind of, I don't know, just so you get the backstory. Gotta hit the hay. You all have a great day. Oh, yeah, it's St. Patty's Day. Oh, one more time. This time I'll just read it, though. I won't put it on the screen. Since it is St. Patty's Day, this hat was actually given to me by my daughter, who actually went over there for like a concert trip for like her band. And she got me this hat. I'm going to read it one more time. Inside the hat is the Irish blessing prayer. Here's what it says. I'm just going to read it one more time. Oh, I need some light. So, one more time for St. Patty's Day. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The plains fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. That's an Irish blessing inside the hat. So very appropriate for St. Patty's Day. I'm just not wearing the hat because I haven't dusted it off in a while. And I'll just feel like there's spiders in it, whether there are or not. I'll just feel like there are. Where's that hook? Oh, there it is. So that's the Irish blessing since it's St. Patty's Day. Yeah, isn't that cool? I'll read it when Bostar comes in because he's actually in Ireland. I actually have relatives that live in Ireland, believe it or not. I've got, it would be, what would it be? It would be like my wife's niece? No. Would it be niece? Well, yeah. I guess it would be. Yeah, my wife's niece. She lives over in Ireland with her, I don't know if they got married. No way! Ben Inya? Get out of here! Holy crap! Good to see you. Hope you've been well. YouTube recently gave me my original channel back that they terminated. Well, obviously, that has to be your original channel. I was just thinking that, Ben. Holy crap! What a blast from the past! Crazy times. You know, that's the man out in the chat that helped get Green Bay Wacky his start. Many, many years ago in the 420 community, now I'm not saying it's what we did. We used to do a lot of sub for sub. We just did. And Ben Inya and his channel, I would go there and he'd come out to start his show and he'd tell everyone in the chat, there'd be like 100 people in there. He'd be like, now everyone, sub up and down. Sub up, get everyone sub. You know, we'd all do that every show. And I got a lot of support from the 420 community, and Ben and his wife. I don't know if you're still married. I hope. Things change. I don't know. I could be opening up wounds. I don't know. But anyway, that's awesome. You got your original. And I got to admit, well, just being honest, I never put two and two together about the name. For a while, it was actually, I think, Cab 7 that put it together for me. Call me naive. It's just me. Just me. But yeah, Ben and Jackie and Johnny Blaze and 420 community got the Green Bay Wacky rolling. So, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I got to go to bed, says Shelly Maresh. Enjoyed our time together. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Much love. Yeah, Ben remembers those good old days. See, a lot of you that weren't here many, many years ago, I mean, we were all into sub for sub, and we were trying to grow our channels, and some good friendships came out of it. We did get some watch time and we did get some subs, But overall, as a whole, I think we all found out that the only way to really grow is organically. Like, people really need to watch you. And, see, this is what used to happen. Community is still rocking, yeah. I'm kind of random now, Ben. Like, when I stream. Because, like, in the real world, I got a real job. Like, my live stream earlier, I was out delivering, actually. The one before this one. This is the second stream tonight. But I just doing like a real job, like to make sure I get a check every week so my wife's happy, But yeah. But here's the story now, since we're just reliving old memories. I think what we all found out, we all went through this. When we were all doing the sub for sub stuff, what would happen is, we'd exchange, I subscribe to you, you subscribe to me, I'll watch some of your videos, and you watch some of mine. But as time went on, we weren't able to continue to necessarily watch everyone's videos that we were subscribing to. So then people would get mad, like, I subscribe to you, and I've been watching your videos, why aren't you watching mine? So some of these kind of little squabbles came up as a result of that. So it was quite the time. It was the heyday. You feel that, yeah. Yeah, I went back to work it's been 3 years now. 3 years where, I used to live stream kind of full time. I was trying to do it like a career. And I, had some success with it, but then donations went down, and it got to the point, what got me to go, since I'm telling all kinds of stories tonight, it's story time with the Wacky. But, there was a drought, let's put it that way, a drought of donations, and I was live streaming like 2 or 3 times a day. And I hardly had anything to show for it financially at the end of the month. And, my wife was working, and she had hung with me on the live streaming, because, we had some success with it for a while. It looked like it was growing to a point where it could sustain things. But I had to go take an $8,000 loan out just to get caught up on my bills. We just paid that loan off. We had that loan for about 3.5 years. And I was honest. I told everyone in the chat I had to do it, and that's why I wasn't streaming as much. Yeah, it was a lot of work. Megan, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Like Megan in the chat. Whoa, whoa. I always feel like Megan is watching me. Good to see you again. She's at work, by the way, so she's limited on what she can do. Definitely met some great folks and some lifelong friends. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a total loss. It's just overall we just found out sub for sub doesn't really... I'm always watching. Yeah. Oh, I still have it, Megan, by the way. Right here. I break it out on streams once in a while. It's one of my prized possessions right here. It's an Among Us character. Megan made this for me. She actually knitted the whole thing. She customized it with a cheese head and mailed it to me from South Africa. It's one of my prized possessions of friendship right there. There it is. Actually made by Megan with love for the Wacky. Yep. There you go. Now you know. And it goes right. I got it right on the shelf, right out here in my studio. Bet you haven't seen that for a while, Megan. Yep, I still have it. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Friday morning, 4:20 in Wisconsin. Oh, 4:20 in Wisconsin. That's funny. I just put two and two together. Like, wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a day, what a day, what a day. Cheers, yep. Well, some people forget, so once in a while I remind people. I, the Wacky, was 420 for about 15 to 20 years. 15 to 20 years, that was a daily part of my life. I made a personal choice to give it up for my wife because she wasn't into it and I knew she didn't like it. And so I haven't 420'd, I haven't partaked for about 26 years, roughly. 26 years, not one toke, but I'm always connected to that community because once you're part of that community, even if you just physically don't do it anymore, you know, I still love that community. So I guess I'm ex 420, but not really. I mean, I don't know what you call that, you know? Yeah, and I don't play that game, Among Us. My daughter knew what it was right away. She goes, "Where'd you get this Among Us thing?" And she didn't. And I was like, whoa, be careful with that. Be careful with that. She thought it was just something I picked up at the store somewhere for $1 or $2. I was like, no, Megan made that for me. So, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Oh, I should go see what Ozzy's doing. Hold on. Let me see if I can get Ozzy back in the house. Let me see if I can get... Hold on just a sec. I almost got him. Not everyone's seen my husky. I almost got him. I'm alluring him. I had to get him. He was crashed out on the chair that he loves in the living room. Wacky ain't no square. He's hip to it. I'm trying to get Ozzy out here with a pepperoni. Ozzy, here you go. Oh, here he comes. Okay. Not everyone's seen Ozzy. Here, bud. Over here. Come here, bud. Come here. Come on. All right. There you go, buddy. Yeah, you ain't going to turn down a treat. You ain't going to turn down a treat. No way. How about another one? You want another one? You're being so good. Yeah. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. Yeah. You were so... Oh, yeah. I got more. I got more. Hold on. I got more. You want another one? Oh, such a good boy. Such a good boy. Love you so much. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Oh, good boy. Good job. And one more you can have. There you go. Such a good boy. Such a good boy. Yeah. You can go back in the house if you want. He's like, okay, I got my treat. So that's for anyone who hasn't seen Ozzy. If you haven't seen Ozzy, that's him. If you ever smoked one time, you'd be higher than a pine tree on a hill. Oh, my goodness. I could tell you stoner story. I did that once on Mother Nature's channel. Mother Nature did, man, this was years ago. I went up as a guest on her stream. It was old stoner stories. And so I'd tell some of the stories, you know, of what my days when I was a stoner, you know. See, in my day, we used to call it getting baked. I don't know if they use that term anymore. Maybe that's old school. But it was called getting baked. That's what we called it. And we had to hide everything. I mean, it's kind of a whole new world with some of the states where it's legal and, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, back then it was no, you know. I mean, our biggest thing that we always had were our dugouts, we called them. I don't know if people still use those with the one-hitters, the little brass one-hitters, you know, because we could kind of keep them concealed. They were always made of wood, and they had a little thing that came. See, you know, the weird thing with my life as a teenager was I use getting baked now. But now, I don't know if any of you, I don't know if you had this at your school. When I was 16 years old in high school, we had a smoking lounge. We actually had a designated area. You'd go down this hall and you'd go outside. And they had it was kind of fenced in by the building or squared in, whatever you want to call it. And the school's policy was they didn't want the kids that smoked to leave school and skip school. So they gave us a place to smoke cigarettes, no questions asked about age or anything. And that was there the whole time I was there. They finally got rid of it. Enough parents got outraged. But the funny part is, there'd be a lot of kids out there smoking cigarettes in between classes, but we used to smoke joints. And the hall guards would be out there, but we'd get in little huddles, and we'd be like, okay, she's not looking. No, she's not. Oh, she's looking. Yeah. We'd have our cigarettes going, you know. Oh, my goodness. I remember one time, I was in my car out in the parking lot. I had the doors locked, and I had a bag of weed on the front seat, and I was rolling joints. And the hall guard lady came and knocked on my window, pointing. And I was just like, just kind of grabbed it. I started my car and drove away. I was like, what could she do? The doors were locked. There was no evidence. It's not like she took a picture. Oh, it was just many stories like that. Annie N. Yeah, the switcheroo. We had the switcheroo going on. Oh, man, back in the day, I mean, I remember my friend Matt. He used to come to school tripping on acid, and he'd be like sitting behind me or sitting in front of me, and he'd turn around. I'd be behind him, and he'd be like, man, do my eyes look dilated? I'm so wasted. I'm like totally tripping, man. I'd be like, oh, Matt, yeah, your eyes look huge, man, you know, because they'd get, and then he'd get even more paranoid, you know. He'd be like, man, I might have to go after this class, man. I was, you know, oh, man. Oh, let's see what's being said here. Twisted Lady says, I'd like to get another big dog or pit bull Passed away back in September. Oh, our pit bull. I gotcha. Well, yeah, it was, I'm sorry to hear that, Twisted Lady. We actually had not had a dog for 20 years. Our last dogs, we were done with them. The one passed away. She had a cancerous tumor thing. We had to put her down. She was in a lot of pain. It was my son that wanted to get a dog, and we thought it'd be good for him. My wife kind of opened up to the idea because my daughter had one that was kind of hanging around the house. And it was like, do you think it's time to get a dog again? And it was actually my wife that agreed to it. That's how we ended up with Ozzy. But I didn't. I was suggesting a lab or a shepherd or something like that. My kid had his heart set on a husky. We didn't read up on huskies, like how high energy they are and, stuff like they can be aggressive and, But that's how we ended up with Ozzy, and he sort of became my dog and my wife's dog. I mean, he's still my kid's dog. He'll always be. He went to pick him up as a puppy with my daughter. They drove 4 hours. He's a purebred Siberian Husky. But I think he underestimated how much work is involved having a dog. He was like, oh, wow, now I actually got to take care of him. So over time, oh, man. Cameron's coffee. Oh. Man, there's still 21 people in the house. Holy crap. 4:30 in Wisconsin. Wow. Thanks for hanging out. After this stream, I'm going to... You know what I've been into lately? I forget what channel it's on. It's one of the free channels that's built into our TV. The Spy TV. The Smart TV. But I've been saying this. I've been watching Kung Fu. Wah! That's the old series from the 70s. David Carradine. Grasshopper, you must walk the rice paper. And it's been... I love that show, man. My wife actually really likes it, too. I don't know if any Kung Fu fans out there. We think our pit bull had cancer, too. Yeah. I got to admit, having a dog, I don't know how I'm going to... If I don't die, if the world's still here... they don't live as long as humans, so I'm always wondering, like, what if I have to face that day? I mean, I cried my eyes out the day our hamster died. Do you guys, some of you might even remember Humphrey, who was on the streams, my daughter's hamster that I would hamster sit. We buried him out in the backyard, had a little funeral for him. He died in our arms, actually, in our hands. He took his last breath in both our hands. But, so... You've seen that lit out, Tamara? Cats are more self-sufficient than dogs, but cats can be more savage. Well, Ozzy is very... I'm not shy about it. He's very aggressive towards strangers. Not at the dog park, though. But if strangers on this property, his turf, he's going after them. So we gotta take some precautions when guests come over, just to be safe. I was just laughing. I know I read the comment, this be twice, but just lit out Tamara saying, I use getting baked now. Yeah, I'm not a cat guy. I mean, I like cats, like when we grew up with cats, tons of cats. Had cats my whole life, actually, as a kid, but as an adult, I'm more of a dog guy. As a pet owner, like my friend Peter, he's got a couple cats. I love petting them and playing with them when I'm over there. But then they stay there, and I go home. Martial arts person here. Well, I grew up around martial arts. I did not perform martial arts, but my brother was totally into martial arts. He was badass mofo. And he studied Bruce Lee, all the different, top martial artists, and man, he was always practicing with me. Hold his phone book up, you know, and I'm like, get my ass kicked, you know, like, dude, man. So you're lit out Tamara's a martial arts person. Now the thing, there's a kind of a danger to martial arts that my friend told me about. My friend was a black belt martial artist, but he was a black belt martial artist. I forget if it was karate or taekwondo or whatever style. I think it was just karate, his thing. But he did it in competitions, kind of like the Karate Kid, you know, like you always see. But what happened with him, he gave it up because he finally got his ass kicked, and he was not prepared for that. So my brother used to always say that if you can't really get hit, I mean really, like full force, you know, bam, you know, you're not going to win any fights or anything. So he was overconfident because he had his black belt and he was scoring points with people, but he got some real fights and it was like, oh wow, this isn't for me. I'm not as tough as I thought. I don't know if you ever heard about that. Taekwondo is karate. A Korean style, yeah. Sweep the knee, Johnny. Johnny, sweep the knee. Sweep the knee. Sweep the knee. No mercy. Boomer D is back. Oh, that was Boomer's comment I just read. I thought it was lit on Tamara's. My bad. My hamster passed away in like June or July, Twisted Lady said. I've got a video of Humphrey on my channel, a couple of them. I love that guy. At night, I used to take him out in the kitchen and let him run around on the counters. I never told I told my wife knew. I always washed him. He never pooped on him or peed or anything. He always did that in his cage. But I used to let him run around the counters at night, and I used to go and hold him in the dining room after a live stream, and I'd put him up on my knee, and he'd be up there. They do that little thing where they put their little paws up and move their mouth, you know? I can't do it very good. He was so cute. I used to love his ears. Little wafery ears, man. I loved Humphrey. And he'd be out there running his little wheel all night. Like, I'm going to France, you know? 100-degree green belt. 3 years of Taekwondo. Yeah, the thing, I was reading up on Kung Fu with David Carradine because I was saying, Boomer, I've been watching that show lately. It's bringing back memory because I grew up with that show. But David Carradine, apparently after the third season of Kung Fu, it was still high in the ratings. He quit the show because he said he had too many injuries. So I guess some of those fight sequences, they might look cheesy now, but he actually got hurt, you know? I mean, getting flipped and doing whatever, so that's why there's only like 63 episodes. Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is so awesome. I love that freaking show. I love that show. If you're a Karate Kid fan, they really did a good job with that show. I thought it was going to suck. I couldn't put it down. Matter of fact, I got to pull it out today and catch up. I think I'm a season behind on it. I mean, that show is so awesome. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Well, you know what my brother said? I mean, he was a street brawler. He was a street fighter. I mean, he bit a guy's ear off. So if there's someone walking around the planet missing an ear, it's my brother that did it. He bit it off and spit it at him. He won the fight. But it's kind of true. My brother and me were so opposites. I was a lover, he was a fighter. But he always told me, you know, Dave, if you're ever going to be tough, or if you're ever going to defend yourself, he said, are you willing to poke someone's eyes out with your fingers? Like, poke their eyes out? Are you willing to bite off their ear, bite their nose off? And I was like, dude, are you fucking crazy? poke someone's eyes out, bite their nose off, bite their ear off. And he's like, well, that's what you have to be willing to do if your life's on the line. He was like total Street Fighter. I don't even want to know. Some of the fights he got in, oh my goodness. He was badass, man. He was 27-inch arms and... But he always told me that. He said, if your life's on the line, you got to go outside of yourself. Like, it's either you kill them or they're going to kill you. He goes, that's what's going to make you a tough fighter. But I never became a fighter. He was the fighter. Brother took a tip from Mike Tyson. LOL. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, he was a bad motherfucker. Excuse my French. Sorry. Now I'm rambling. I meant to say mofo. That's the extreme, yeah. But that's how my brother was, because he got in those fights, you know. But nowadays, I don't think people really fight anymore. They just pull out guns and shoot each other. And he said that was kind of changing, you know. People used to actually fight. Remember when it was, you know, a fight, fist fight, you know? My older son is boxing. Cool. I like to watch. Oh, speaking of boxing, I've got to watch Creed and Creed 2. That's on HBO. I put it in my list to watch. I have not seen those Rocky movies. Have any of you seen Creed or Creed 2? Are they any good? I'm going to watch them anyway, even if you say they're bad, just because I love Sylvester Stallone. Anyone watch them, though? Rumble was a rumble, not a drive-by. Yeah, rumble, you know, it was fist fights, you know. Do you want to know something? You probably won't believe this. I'm 56 years old. I've only been in one fight in my whole life. My whole life. One fight, and it only lasted about 5 minutes. They suck. Boomer says they suck. Oh, no. Oh, no. Lit out Tamara, seeing him? I don't know. I might watch one this afternoon before I go to work. They are good. My older son made me watch them. Well, I loved Balboa. Remember that Rocky one? One of the later movies. I think that was the last of the Rocky ones before Creed. Balboa was amazing. Well, I like Sylvester Stallone. I like the whole idea of Rocky, even if he's retired. So I probably will like him. But he's not fighting this time. In Creed, he's coaching like Apollo Creed's kid, right? That's the premise. Yeah, those are on my list to watch. Oh, and it was so funny. Last night, I went in the bedroom before my wife. She was out in the kitchen doing some stuff on the computer. I go in there and I start watching. This is on. Did any of you guys ever see the movie Bloodsport with Van Damme? Remember Bloodsport? It's like from the 80s. Kind of cheesy, but it was kind of lighthearted but serious. Bloodsport. So I turn it on and I start watching it. My wife comes in the bedroom. She goes, I'm not watching Bloodsport. And I'm like, why not? Come on, we haven't seen it for years. Together, we've seen that movie probably 30 times, you know. She's like, I'm not watching it. We're going to put something else on. I was like, okay, all right. I was starting to get into it, you know. I was 10, 20 minutes into it. So then I got up and left, and I was doing something out in the kitchen for probably 45 minutes or an hour or something. I forgot to go back to the bedroom. We switched places, kind of. So I go back in there, and my wife's watching it. And I'm like, you're watching Bloodsport? And it was almost over at that point. And she goes, I got sucked into it. I said, I told you I would have watched it with you. She goes, like, I know. I got sucked into it. You sucked me into it. She was blaming me for it. He's coaching like his coach, pretty much. Okay. Start with the first one to keep up with the storyline. Okay. They overdid it with the Rocky saga. Same with Rambo. Oh, I saw that new Rambo. Oh, my goodness. Number one, it was depressing. It was like Rambo Last Blood, I think. And number one, the storyline was very depressing. Number one, so I didn't like that. And number two, it was just a slaughter fest at the end of the movie. I mean, it was literally like, how many people can we slice and dice graphically in like 20 minutes? I didn't like Last Blood, Rambo. They were just trying to get one more movie out of Stallone. However, if you like Stallone, I've been praising this. His new series, there's only 9 episodes so far. Tulsa King. Tulsa King. Stallone has still got it, man. It's a really, if he plays an ex kind of gangster guy and he moves to like Tulsa, Oklahoma, of all places. I really enjoyed it, actually. I really liked it. It's secular. It's not Christian. I probably shouldn't be watching it. But, I was in one fight too many with my brother. I was defending my younger sister who was pregnant. He slapped her, and I've never been so mad in my life. He was on hard drugs, and it's really mean to all. Wow. It was in Houston where it happened. Where what happened? What happened in Houston? Oh, you watched Tulsa King, Boomer? I watched it thinking this is going to be cheesy, sliced. You know what else I watched today? Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this forever. I hate to admit it, but I love having Netflix and HBO and all that stuff. And I know it's bad. But I watched Cobra. That old Stallone movie where he's like a, detective guy, badass, pulls up in that old Fabulous 50 car. And I don't know if they were married at the time, but remember that blonde girl? She was in Rocky 3 or 4, the one with the Russian where he fights the Russian. I can't think of her name offhand, but they were married in real life for a while. I can't think of her name. Oh, can't think of her name. It's old age. It's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody help me out. 3-year-old shot and killed her 4-year-old sister. Oh. Not your family. That's crazy. That's the way of the world. That's sad. A 3-year-old shot and killed her 4-year-old sister. Wow. I mean, accidental, of course, I'm assuming. Wow. That's a danger of having guns in the house, I guess, if you have kids, Okay, folks. I gotta go. I gotta bug out. It's 5 a.m. I gotta go get some rest. Yeah, that's a parent's thing. So I guess we're gonna have to say our goodbyes. You're gonna have to find somewhere else to go. Fluff my hair out a little bit. I really appreciate everyone hanging out tonight. It's kind of an interesting stream. I wonder if Cabby's live over at the other place. Let me just check. Whoa, why is that so big? It's 80%. What? That's really weird. I don't know. Huh. The whole screen is big. Wow, that's really weird. Well, I don't know. We love you, Aggie. Thanks, Twisted Lady. Oh, Life with Jory Cox. I'm just leaving. Everyone have a great night. Much love all. Boomer. Later. Twisted Lady. Let me go up. Brenda Hall. Lit out Tamara. And I never say goodbye to everyone. It's never intentional. I try. There was only so many people typing at the end here. But everyone just have a great Friday. I'll see you over the weekend on some kind of live. Thanks for the love. And, okay, I'm going to roll. I'm going to go to sleep. Well, I mean, I'll start to go to sleep. I'll get the process going. And I don't know if Cab's live over on the other place. He might be. My screen isn't showing. It's weird why it's so big. I don't know what the deal is. Oh, well. All right.